Morning, friends. Katie Steinberg here at the beach. The sunrise on Sunday. Got some birds and some clouds, and I just can never get over that it's different and beautiful every time. But this morning I've been thinking about this idea of progress, not perfection, this week. I think sometimes, especially if you're in any challenging moments of your life, which actually recently when I describe kind of the challenges of my own life, the response from wizened folks is, oh yeah, that's just life. So if you're experiencing, that's just life. It can be hard to feel like you're making any progress. I may have shared here that I have started a discipline of going back and reading old journal entries that align with today from previous years. And one of the things that's yielded is the opportunity to bear witness to my own progress. Because there's just not a lot of ways to do that. And I think especially when things feel challenging, that it feels like you're not making any progress. It feels like nothing's going anywhere. You know, the greatest lies of depression and anxiety is that it will last forever, that it always has been and it always will be. And they are convincing. So finding ways to bear witness to your own progress, helpful through the eyes of friends. You can often say, oh no, it hasn't always been like this. Remember this other time, friend? But hearing your own voice is such a gift and an opportunity to believe it. I think sometimes I don't believe other people. I think they just want me to feel better, you know? At one point I had journaled, I'd given myself permission to journal the despair, and then given myself permission to journal what would winning look like. This was a year ago. And the reality is that my life looks much more like what I described as winning. But that can be really hard to see when things are tough. When people are behaving in ways that you don't expect and that are harmful or hurtful. When there are political and legal things happening that you don't expect and plan for. And there's just always, life is just always going to have a lot of pieces we don't plan for or expect, which is part of the great joy and part of the great mystery and challenge and hardship. But if I can leave you with something, it would be my hope that we can release our ideas of perfection, little by little maybe. I think that most of us had some kind of idea along the way that if we just did X, Y, Z, we would have, you know, sort of this beautiful, happy life. And it's not that life isn't beautiful with all of its ups and downs, but I think for many people that I talk to that are mid-aged, it's not adding up to their expectations. And there's just no such thing as perfection. I remember being challenged when I was a youth group leader because I had described God or Jesus or something as perfect, and the pastor there at the time said, "What, you don't think Jesus got plaque? Got, you know, sand between his toes, BO, that kind of stuff?" And I was like, "Well, no, that's not what I mean." But I don't think even Jesus was perfect by today's standards. How about that? You know, and in fact, he was such a rabble-rouser that they killed him for it. So I often too, and I'll encourage you and try to encourage myself that you get a lot of pushback that isn't coming from places of being loving and helpful and beneficial. It's coming from places of being critical and judgmental. You're in good company. I think that often happens when you're on the right track. So we don't have to be perfect, and we don't have to push through and power through all the time. I feel like I say this a lot, but I feel like I need to hear it a lot. Nourish yourself well. Rest when you need to. And have faith that what you were called to do, the work you were here for, will happen. Little by little, one day at a time. Grace and peace, friends.